What's going on, traders? How we doing? Welcome back to Start Swing Trading. I'm excited to start today's show. We're going to take a look at what's going on in the action right now. I actually have a trade that I just put on, so trying to focus at the same time. So let's bring you the action right as I speak. Today, I've been focusing on one trade. I've been looking, of course, at the banks. We still got the Morgan Stanley trade, was able to take some profits towards that 90 move. We'll see if this can continue to move on this. This is up more than 5% on the swing trade here. But I'm looking right now at XLE starting to break down. Talked about this on, of course, my Twitter. If you guys don't have me, at MoneyMitchBZ, was looking for some XLE to start the takedown. And you can see here, we've had multiple times that it's tried to get back up there towards the highs. Can't do it. It looks like it wants to start breaking down. So I'm taking some short on VLO. Just got a tiny starter on. Looking to add here if we can get back towards 134s. We got close there. I have an order out to add some more. It's slightly above this 134. But I did get an entry at 133.78. Right now, we're at 133.40s. Going to look for this to come back down through the daily levels. It's tried to get through there towards 140 before. We're going to use kind of that 136 level as the resistance out on this. And we're going to look for Valero to start breaking down. XOM, looking like it's cutting through that daily support. We're starting to see that one cut. Chevron was another one that I was looking to short. I actually day traded this, was able to make a little bit of money on the downturn here. But as it started coming back towards the 160s, I cut it there. So I want to see if it can come back towards 162. If we can make it way back to 162, I wouldn't mind shorting some Chevron. Oxy was another short opportunity for me. I'm looking at today. I actually got stopped out in this one. So full disclosure, I've gotten stopped out once on this name, but I'm going to look to see if we can get that takedown. Really crack through 60s, right back down through those lows of 57.96. Could really finally start being the break that we need if this is really going to turn around. The only reason I didn't go too much after this Oxy trade is that the downturn is like towards the 40s. It's not going to be a massive move back down, right? Valero could be another move that can actually get there towards kind of that 112 area, 100, and then there's lower support before that. So we're going to see how much this actually does break. Does it really give us a move here, especially in the intraday? It'd be nice for us to close below 132 and to start being able to like just see the stock just completely to tumble. We'll see what happens here in Valero Energy. Swing short, team. Like I always like to tell you guys choose your own levels. We'll see if I'm able to cash. All right, how we doing out there? Easy Mike, Wisdom, taking some JPM. The Crow, how we doing out there? Getting them targets. That's what I like to see. Daniel, INTC, making my head scratch. We'll take a look at that one. Jeff Ross, what a mess. Walter, how we doing out there? It's good to see you. Jared, UVXY, SQQQ. Yeah, a little day trade action. Can't blame you on that. Can someone explain to me how to short a stock? Yes. You hit the sell button versus the buy button. No, I'm just playing. What it is that pretty much you're borrowing the shares, right? You're essentially borrowing it back, right? The only thing that you need to be looking at when you're shorting stocks is trying to look around. Different brokerages are going to give you different skills, right? Different abilities to have easy shorts or locates. This is what matters the most. I think you really need to have your ability to know where the good brokerages is. Of course, you look around and kind of find out. And if you've never shorted, I would definitely be careful. Full disclosure. This is an unlimited risk to the upside, right? When you normally go long a stock, you have some kind of limit on the risk, right? Bankruptcy, 0, right? Well, when you're shorting a stock, potentially you have an unlimited risk. So be careful out there. All right, we'll see what happens there in Valero if I'm able to get that cash money. Wisdom, it's good to see you, man. The Wisdom out there. What you get? You got some JPM? Thinking we're going to continue? It did bounce. I would say we'll talk a little bit about JPM. There's one that's at least stronger there. Valero starting to come down through the 133s. We'll see if we cut through the 132s here as I'm taking my shot a little short on some energy trade. And we can keep looking at some other trades out there. So we're really going to be looking more at charts today. You guys in the chat, throw up some charts, throw up some stocks. If I like it, who knows? Might take it live right here. Smash the like if you guys enjoy seeing some live swing trading action on Benzinga. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other names. Let's go to just the sector outlook, right? What got hit the hardest today? Well, real estate got hit hard. I'm not going to be going short in any real estate names, but just to point out some of the bigger names, right? PLD, AMT, EQIX, some of these really starting to pull back a little bit. Public storage, PSA. This doesn't look good at all. This looks like it's really starting to cut down. And the overall chart looks very bearish to me as we're starting to come back down through these levels. Could look for a nice little takedown back there towards the 270 level. I don't trade too much in these REITs, but this does look like it is trying to just cut right back down into the 270 level. We'll look for a somewhat bounce here towards 289, but this one doesn't look too bad. PSA on the downside. Income reality, that definitely taken a downturn, and you can see how it broke here, the pattern. This looks good as it continues down through the 61.33s towards 60. We'll see what happens there on reality income. Let's take a look at some basic materials. Of course, I like to take a look at steel often. And you guys know I cut my steel position, and a lot of it was this outlook. I could see kind of the market turning around. And that was a hard turnaround today, back down to 27.22s. So if I didn't cut those positions, we would have been really getting hit, right? I mean, we were in there about like 29.18s. We took a profit on this one, a very small profit, almost break even, but it would have been 7.4% down on the day if I held it to the low there. So definitely, you got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. Yesterday was definitely one of those days that I went break even on the rest of the trades. And I said, if I get stopped out of all positions, let it be. Sometimes I need to be more in what? Capital protection, preservation, whatever you want to call it. What matters, save that money, right? Because remember, as a trader, a lot of the times we're not going to get judged on our winning trades. We're going to get judged on how much do we lose, right? Because if we can be consistent winning traders, well, then you're going to have plenty of winning trades, right? Now, what you don't want to have is some of those nasty, those big losers. So you got to be able to control and manage that capital. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other trades. And it wasn't only this one, right? If I would have stayed in Solar Edge yesterday, instead of breaking out, break even, well, look where I would be at. This went as low as 300 today. I would have got crushed on that turnaround. We got to know when we got to get out, even if it means break even. Sometimes you're going to be even right on maybe technical levels, the way that the chart looks, but then the overall market comes and says, bah! And when the market wants to turn on you, guess what? You can have the best bullish setup in the world. You could still get crushed. All right. Run has some SVIB exposure. That's interesting, Jay. Run was actually doing really well a day prior. It was actually making a nice little move. It was up almost 5% on the day and then just starts getting crushed. It's down about 16%, almost 15% from that move. Overall day, it's down about 12.7. I also see JKS, Jinko Solar, getting destroyed. Maybe this has some exposure also, but Jinko Solar, definitely a hard turnaround there in the solar names. And you guys know I was actually swing short First Solar. We were able to take some profit this morning. So I do want to go ahead and at least mention that, right? We did take some profit in First Solar. We took profit at 207.86. We got short this one at 212s yesterday. And so when this one cut through here on the intraday, we took some profit. But as it came back through the 212, I stopped out break even on the rest. And yes, I would be up on the name right now. But one of my rules, and I try to stick to this rule, is that once I make money, if I put break even on the rest, what is that going to protect? That's going to protect money I already made. So in this case, I stop out break even on the rest, but at least take a profit. And I think that that's the important part of trading, right? At the end of the day, we're here to focus on the trades. And a lot of that is going to be ending into the green and not pushing it so hard that once you get a green trade, you turn it to red. That's my rule. You guys can always choose your own, right? All right, let's keep a look at some other ones. And there was more that I got stopped out on yesterday that I'm just kind of happy, right? American Airlines, pure example, right? This one I was at 1586. Well, I would have got broken out. I took the last bit of money and I ran with it. Now we can start taking a look at stocks that are pulling back that were really, really strong. So one here that was making a big move up, Mosaic, coming back here. And so I'm thinking about taking a little shot here on Mosaic and then holding down there towards, let's say, like 48. So let me go ahead and try to get a little bit of a piece here as we've turned around from around the 49 spot here. Want to hold towards about that 48.50 spot here. So we're going to risk about a point on this name. Not going to be the biggest risk here, but my thing is this stock has come down fast and it was really strong when the market did good. So there, I'm taking a little bit of a swing here. You guys always, like always, got to be careful with what you guys trade, but I'm taking a little swing here. Going to go ahead, take my small position, risk off the 48.50s, look to see if we can get a swing back to the upside. If some of this like concern can go away, can we get a little bit of a relief rally? Maybe. I mean, if we continue to get some more banks get hit, well, I could be blown through that tomorrow. But I'm willing to take a little bit of an upside shot there on a stock that was super strong, now pulled back from those gains, right back to where we were. Let's see if we can hold that right underneath it and come right back up. We'll see what happens on this one. Monthly pullback level also going to be important. 48 on the downside, 48.04. We shouldn't see that break the monthly trend. And so I could hold off that 48 clearly, or maybe 48.50s for me. It's going to be off that 48.50s on MOS. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other names to see what kind of stocks were trending, what are not. Gold started getting a little bit of a lift today. GOLD up there to 1590s. Is this something that we want to maybe swing a little bit? We have been trying to get through the 16 today. We got through that 16 right back. So this could be something that we could swing if we expect the markets to continue down, DXY to continue moving to the upside. I don't know. I'm not going to take the gold swing today. I'm just not feeling so confident in gold. But is it something that I consider for a swing? Yeah, it's normally something that I'd look at in this time, but I'm going to stay on the sideline, at least with gold. Beans for rice. I'm good at trading. We need a show on sizing strategies. So sizing strategies really is all about understanding. What I would look at is the range, right? And so one thing that I always talk about, and you hear me talk about this often, Beans, is my profit to loss ratio. And so when you're talking about sizing, it's always going to be relative, right? Let's say simple way, right, is that if you're going after a stock, like let's say, like they like to compare it, right? I want to compare it to something that I would trade. Like let's say this gold. If I were to trade this gold, right? Some people here would take a look at this chart here and say, well, all right, where we're at, we should kind of hold this kind of hourly support. That's 1576. So maybe I can put this at 1575. Right now, if I were to get in, that's about 1590s, right? I'm going to be risking about what? I'm going to be risking about 15 cents, right? To get down here towards this 1575. That's a 0.89% risk. 0.89%. So I like to talk percentages, right? And so if you think about 0.89% there, if I went long, in my eyes, I need to make 3 times that money. So 45 cents on the upside. That's higher than here, right? Higher than the resistance. This is why this trade doesn't make that much sense to me. But where does that get us? That gets us to here. And what is that in the percentages terms? that's going to be 2.83%. So I like to think in percentages. That's why I mentioned that often. And that's what helps you a little bit more when you're thinking about sizing. But then you got to understand, hey, if I'm risking for 15 cents, how much does that equal times the amount of shares so that I understand how much I want to make risk and return wise? This is what matters the most. And I think that as you get, at least for me, as I got further and further from, going big on day trading, what I did was I went smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And if anything, right now, I'm trading smaller swing size than I ever have. But there's a reason why, because I'm trading more and more frequent. I think this helps me not be so much be in one basket, right? All eggs in one basket. This is very important. I think what's important there is some diversity, right? When you're only playing, let's say, I don't know, maybe it be 3% of your account on each position. Well, this leaves you an ability to take a lot of positions. Yes, you got to be smart in the way you're approaching your risk and return so you continue to maximize on your edge. But like always, it's about understanding sizing and how you're going to take this approach. We'll see if gold can make that move towards 1630s, and then it would kind of make sense risk to reward wise. The Crow 2 says, me too, Money Mitch, base hits all day. And that's what it's about. So finding ways to go with smaller share size could truly help you even play names like the Crow likes to go after these big movers. But I'm sure that, I mean, I don't know his account, but I'm, at least for me, when I play those smaller games, when I've played them with small sizing, I've done well. When I've gone with bigger sizing, I've gotten destroyed. All right, Beans, love it. Hey, I'm here for you guys. And I think it's very important, right? Understanding the percentages is very important there. Wisdom says, I buy 2% blocks after every 0.25% up till 7%, and then in for a 2% stop loss for a full position. Like it. You know what that is? That's called systematic, my friend. And sometimes you got to be a little bit different on the average, right? A percentage. Like right now, sometimes my sweet spot is more towards 8 and 10% winners. But right now, I've lowered that to 6%. And so what does that mean for me if I want to go, 3 for 1, right? So then I got to think, okay, so I can't be really risking more than 2% on any name. Any name. Right now, at least in my mentality, I don't want to be risking more than that 2%. And so with that being said, it's all about just finding what works for your personality. Also looking at your data, right? What's working for you? Are you able to make 4% winners every day? If that is true, then you can go for a smaller kind of reward. This is what's very important. All right, let's keep going. Valero making a nice hard move to the downside there. So at least the oil swing there, looking good, team. We're almost up 1% on that. Let's see if it starts moving. MOS is starting to come down a little bit here from our entry. So on MOS, I'm going to really watch it. If we can get 49 add, I'll take an add through that 49 and then hold towards 48.50s. Going to hold whatever I can towards that 48.50s. And this is kind of more of a contrarian style trade, right? Where a stock is really getting hit on the RSI. On the 4-hour RSI, it's down there to 990s. On the daily RSI, it's only at 48. So that could go lower. We'll look to see if this plays as some support on the RSI and we're able to start bouncing back. Of course, RSI doesn't have technical support, but you're looking just to see if you can get that action back to the upside there. All right, that's out of MOS. Let's go to some other names, technology names. Definitely taking a hit today after really being strong. Solar names, software applications starting to turn around. I know I was looking at Uber earlier in the week, and it looked good for a move back to 35. Just how quickly this can come off, right? And one thing I noticed today, that growth trade really started to break. And so we got to be careful. Unity coming down fast there. ARKK starting to really break right back down. And so with that being said, Sark really looks like a good opportunity. I've mentioned this multiple days, have yet to take a position, and I really need to start looking to see if Sark is something I'm going to take a shot in. I'll be looking for some pullbacks, but it's just a way to play against those Cathie Wood names. And of course, we'll see what happens in Shop. Shop kept holding 40 on pullback. Well, we cut through it on the downside. All right. I still remember a lot of those growth names that were making moves, and a lot of those were like the Carvanas that were getting the lift. Look how quickly we're right back down, team. This is why you got to take the money and run in this type of market. That's for sure. Talking about 4% and 2% is so foreign to my mind because I trade options. No hate, just an observation. Yes, Brian, that is true. I 100% agree. When we're talking smaller percentages, it doesn't sound so sexy than the option game, right? But one thing I would say, Brian, is that there's a lot of option traders out there that struggle with managing risk. And of course, if you're not one of those, hey, power to you. All right, let's keep going. What else do I got for you guys today? Let's get into it. SOXS is a higher price than SOXL. That's interesting. SOXS, let's take a look there. Definitely getting some lift on that, up there towards 2250s. Nice little pullback on the day when came back towards 21. And so the only thing that could have helped you there is like an hourly support. And you can see how we came back through this level on the hourly. We came back, we kind of broke above here. Now we keep holding on the upside action move. One thing I'd be looking for is any pullbacks into this area, 2150s. So that'd be something I'd look for on Mondays. But you have been trying to make a little bit of a lift there in SOXS. We'll get through some daily resistance. And now it's time to take a look at some of the leaders, right? NVIDIA starting to turn around. Is this an opportunity for a short? Depends how you see the market, right? If you think we're going to actually start breaking down, why not? This one does look like it's a little bit extended, right? Could break right back down through kind of this gap, fill the gap back down to 210s as it's been on a big ride up, right? Tesla, that had been really breaking down, now trying to hold on by a thread here in the 170s. Will this take another leg down towards the close? That's one thing I'm judging on. Tesla could easily bounce, but we could also be right back into this gap zone. Will we fill the gap there on Tesla? That's one thing to think about. That's right here in this area towards 150s. We'll look to see what happens there. All right, MS, Morgan Stanley. Are we going to continue getting the down action in these banks? Looks like we're getting a little bit of a bounce before the close, but I think we're going to start seeing even maybe JPM get down there towards the close. I'm going to be watching this one. This one looks like an opportunity, but let's take a look at FAS. How's that pulling back there? Of course, directional play on the intraday action. This one looking like it wants to get back there towards the 22s. We'll see what happens here towards the close. All right, it's 3:24. Let's keep going, team. You guys smash the like. I need to take a little sip of water, so I'm going to take a little bit to just play a Benzinga Pro trailer, and we'll be right back.
Introducing Portfolio Synchronization with your brokerage. Now you can securely connect your brokerage account to Benzinga Pro, opening a world of personalization. Screen lightning fast news just for the stocks you own. Set alerts for news catalysts that affect only the companies you care about. It's all possible with a simple click and a secure protective connection. Overcome uncertainty and connect your portfolio to Benzinga Pro today.
All right, team, and we're back. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other stocks. You guys keep dropping them in the chat. Industrials starting to fall off after they've been so strong. Remember Deere? Remember how strong this moved? Look, now it's not looking strong, team. We are breaking this pattern here. Even the strong stocks, they came after. Deere today just getting smacked. Cat probably getting smacked. Even Picard, our Picard trade, we wrote it up there towards the resistance. And guess what, team? We're right back where we bought it. This is how this market is. It's one of the markets that we got to take the profits when the profits are there. Let's take a look at Boeing, see what's going on there. We're getting some lift. I know there was some news here. Let's go. Let's dive into this Boeing news, see how good it is. We'll find out. Of course, I'm just going to bring in Benzinga Pro. You guys can check Benzinga Pro for yourself, right? Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Boeing, see what they're saying here. Boeing said to receive FAA approval to resume deliveries for the 787 Dreamliner. There you go. That's going to help you a little bit, get that nice little push back. Of course, we'll see how much this can really drive the price back. Let's go to the volume here. Volume, you are seeing that volume spike there on that 230 news algo. I'm sure picked it up. You can see how we're pulling back here towards this level. We'll look to see if we hold right around 201.50s. That's what I'd be looking for on the pullback right now. So right around 201.50s is maybe something that I could get on a swing back to the upside on Boeing. But I don't know if I just want to take a swing right now in the industrial space overall. Yes, this has news, but is this something that I want to really think about? It's going to be hard. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other industrials. We were just in that space, so let's go looking. What else is not looking good? Definitely farming and heavy construction. If anything, I think Picard might be a short. So I'm going to be actually looking for these names to start breaking down. Did GE break? Ooh, GE. This is tempting, team. This is tempting. GE has not broken. It is like one of the few ones in the green today. Honeywell is also in the green. That's a little bit concerning there. But GE's just been so far from the 9 EMA. It's just a hard one there to call. I'm going to leave it alone right now. But, man, it looks tempting right there. That's for sure. ITW starting to turn around. This doesn't look good. This one looks like it could start to break down. Triple M continuing down further. I don't know if you guys are believers in Triple M for the long run, but this stock does not look good by any means on my eyes. Emerson Electric, will this start making its way back there towards 90s? I was looking at it to see if it would get there to 90. It did not. Hard rejection today. We got to see what happens in these industrial plays because they are starting to really break down, and that is not a good look for the market because this was holding on. These were viewed as some of the strongest one. Let's go to Lockheed Martin, see if that's hanging on by a thread. Yeah, it's hanging on right now. This one looked bullish, so I was just taking a look to see the strength. You can see how we've tried to get to the 490s multiple times. If we come back to 470s, 460s, this could be at least the break of this trend. We'll see what happens there. At least that one doesn't look too bad on the day compared to some of these other ones. But definitely those Deeres, those Caterpillars, they don't look good. Airlines don't look good. Rentals don't look good. What else doesn't look good here? Shipping and ports, hard turnaround there. Railroads, we've already known how people don't like the railroads right now with the action that's going on. So this looks like a very head and shoulders chart to me. This looks like it's starting to come down here. You're looking at Canadian Pacific start to break a little bit. I honestly think these are going to get hit hard. Who wants to be investing in railroads right now? I know I don't. All right, let's take a look. Airlines definitely taking a big hit there. And so we'll see what happens on these. Will they continue to take a beating? The one that I would look at is like Save, because definitely it does have the negative news. And look, boom, right back down today. Definitely down there to the 1681s. We'll see what happens there. Valero down there towards 132.62s. Could start looking at some more oil names to get short. Chevron went right back to 160. Now it's back to 159. Could start cutting through the 159. Taking a look at some of these because they have been strong and they could easily just start breaking down, right? So just taking a look at some of the other ones there. Shell doesn't look too bad for an opportunity. You can see the topping action here. That's pretty strong topping action there at 62.40s for Shell. All right, let's keep a look. Railroads, the railroads. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to the other ones. Utilities, of course, that does not look good at all. Duke Energy coming down fast. I don't like the trade these too often. I know I got caught with Duke up here at 105.50s. I might be a little bit upset about that one because we're already back down to 93s. So we'll see if this can keep working. These are very slow movers, though, so be careful with that. Financial services getting wrecked, but will we get wrecked towards the close? That's what I'm looking at. JPM is hanging on. Morgan Stanley kind of hanging on there. Not too bad today. Bank of America right there, right above. We'll see what happens towards the close. I feel like Bank of America could crack here and come right back down towards that 29 here. So I could kind of swing it towards the close on Bank of America, but it's fallen too far for me to kind of chase this. So I'm going to be very careful here with this kind of trade. SIVB, no action on that all day as they got halted for regulation. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I'm definitely concerned. Healthcare names getting hit also. It just seems like nothing is safe, team. It seems right now like nothing is safe. These healthcare names didn't have that bad of a day. So these major ones are bouncing back a little bit. What about Merck? What do you guys think about Merck here? It is trying to bounce back a little bit. Is this where we're going to try to get maybe growth at reasonable value? Is this going to start turning around? This is the trade that I'd be looking at if we actually could get some turnaround. We'll see what happens there. I'm definitely going to pay attention to the healthcare names, at least those major drug manufacturers, because they are having a strong day when pretty much everything else is weak. All right, we'll see what else is going on. RJR holding strong. Let's take a look at that. That's aerospace defense. I mean, I wouldn't say holding strong, but at least not getting destroyed, right? It's just sideways to me on the day. It's just a sideways, a nothing day. All right, let's go to the S&P 500 and see what was the leading stocks on the upside and the downside, right? Is there anything in the green? There's some. There's some. Let's talk a little bit about that. So FRC, of course, this came down at the gates and just climbed back. This was a regional bank and it climbed back, but it could easily come right back down there, right? I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with this. And trust me, if I had easy shorts on FRC, I probably would take it. But this is going to be more of that locate approach. And I don't know if I want to pay for FRC right now. Zion up there also. JPM, bigger bank, right? Intel, value name, getting a little bit of an uplift in technology. Are they going for value tech? Something to think about, right? But that'd be more like Qualcomm also. So Qualcomm's been getting hit right now. You could see that pull back. So I don't know if they're going to really go for kind of value tech, but we can keep an eye on it, right? We'll see what happens there. Let's get back to some of those leading names in the SPY. MTB, of course, another regional bank. These are just bouncing back. Key Corp, PNC, a lot of these regional banks getting a little bit of a bounce back today. Wells Fargo bouncing back, Travelers. So it just seems like it's like a mixed signals right now. Las Vegas Sands turned around. Did Wynn turn around? Ooh, this is one that I could go shorting into. I've been waiting for Wynn to break. Kind of like this one. All right, let's see what I can get here. See if I can get Wynn. It's a little bit already a good ways away from where I'd want to short it, which is about here in the 109 area to the 108.90s, close to the VWAP. So if I could get a little bit of a bounce here towards 108.70s, I don't mind it. This would be a little bit more of a bigger swing for a move back towards 105 and 100. This has gone way too far in my eyes. But of course, this is resorts and casinos. So we'll see what happens there. Lab B, the biotech bear. biotech bear took off today. What a move. I mean, so many sectors got hit hard. Industries got hit hard. I'm sure some other ones got hit too. LVS, Win, they both look kind of good for me. If they can kind of just break down here, I don't think they'll be able to hold on to these gains that they recently had. And one thing with Win that I've always looked at on the chart is that it has a tendency of having these big up moves, big up moves on the weeklies, and then all of a sudden long declines. Big up moves, long declines, right? Big up moves, long declines. Big up moves, long declines. It does this often, where it does a big up move and then there's a big decline after it. So we'll see what happens there. It is coming off of that 110 area. You know what? I'm going to take a small approach here with it. I'll take a smaller approach on it. I'll take a little bit of a short here on Win. We'll see what happens there. Took the 108.38s there for Win. We'll see what happens there. It's a small one. All right, Tesla. Will this come back down here and break towards the 160s? That's going to be a hard one to call here. Let's go to the SPY. How are we looking on the SPY? SPY is breaking down. Will we break through the 385? That's going to be the next layer down here. Let's see what happens there if we break back through that 385, 388, 384, 88. Let's go on dailies. Dailies do not look good here on the SPY. As we're coming lower and lower, we're going to be looking to see where are we going to hold support. Are we going to hold support at the 380s, team? One thing that I will mention is that we are back into the channel. That is not a good outlook there, team. Of course, we've been talking about the channel for a while now, and you guys can see here, now we're right back into that channel, that bearish channel that we were in. Now it's really viewed, this bounce, this big bounce from October. This is the bear market rally. Let's just be honest. It didn't get out of the bear market. And so we got to be careful here, especially if we start to see this 50-day moving average actually start to move back down. So right here, from about March 1st, we actually really started taking off on the moving average for the 50 in the upside. So we actually got it up there towards 398.90s. I'm going to watch this. If this can't get back into the 399s and it actually starts to trend on the downside, it could flip right back through the 200-day, and then we're really looking bad on the overall market. We'll see what happens there in the overall SPY. All right, let's keep going. Nice move here from Valero towards the close as we keep getting closer and closer. It's 339. Now we're almost breaking the 132s. We did this one right out the gates here as we started the show, 133.78, up about 1.22% on that one. So we'll look to see what happens there. MOS, I am down on that one. It is cutting through the 49. So as we cut through here, I'm going to look to add and hold to 48.50s. If not, just take the stop out. It's okay to take a loss, especially, I mean, we're not looking too bad. About 3 of those in the green, and Win already starting to cut a little bit there. So I took my shot there at the 108.30s. We'll find out how this works out on Win. Will I be winning to the downside? Find out, team. All right, let's get back to the market action. Let's go to like a stock like NVIDIA. I think this could start breakdown, especially if we're going to keep getting a breakdown in the overall market. Qs overall really getting weak as of late and starting to crack. And one thing to note is that you were just about to get kind of more of that golden cross to show up on the Qs. The golden cross has shown up on the SPY, but now it could start to turn right back to the downside. So we'll see what happens there. If we start to really break down, tech names were really strong. We'll find out. Let's go to bigger names like Apple. I talked about today, would we get back to the 155 or would we start to cut down towards the 144s? We're at 147 here. So it doesn't look good today for Apple and some of these leading names. Microsoft, Google. Doesn't look good, team. Even Google's 90. That might not actually be a holding spot. We might break it this time if we get back down there this time. So Doesn't look good on these bigger names as we keep cutting down. All right. And with that being said, I think we're starting to see some of these banks start to lose a little bit of altitude. So I could take a shot on JPM here towards the close, but it would be like a very tight shot here towards kind of like 129. I could also do Bank of America back down towards 29s. I'm just trying to take it easy here, but I could see that kind of cutting through here towards the close and having an ugly close. So we'll find out. I'm already taking some shots and I'm swinging the win. Yes, WYNN. All right, let's keep going. What other ones you guys are calling out there? Teams, smash them up, throw them up. We'll take a look there. Any more short opportunities you guys see out there? Smith & Wesson brands. We're getting real defensive if we're looking at Smith & Wesson. We'll look to see if this gets back above 11. Actually, for a bullish chart, this doesn't look too bad, right? I mean, if you're at least looking for something that's bullish, right? That at least has some kind of trend. This looks interesting. You can see how you pulled back to the 1104. Doesn't look too bad, especially now that it's pulling back into this area after you went to 1140, right? This doesn't look bad. The risk may be off of 1080s for me. So it'd be a tight risk, but it could be a nice reward tomorrow through 1140s to the 1150s. You just got to kind of consider the risk to reward, right? For me, I would really need this to get back there through this level, back towards the 60s. So I'm risking about 20 cents for 60 cents. That would make sense in my eyes, but I can't blame you for taking a look at Smith & Wesson brands, SWBI. Shebang, shebang. Who wants the Smith & Wesson? Because it's setting up there. We'll find out. Easy, Mitch. I hear you, Daniel. I'm taking it easy. I'm taking it easy, my friend. Wisdom, what's going on? Now I feel better about SWBI. I mean, it doesn't look bad. To tell you the truth, it doesn't look bad at all. And I'm just saying off my charts, right? And one thing that you clearly see is like if we could get a nice volume move through this level, the 1114, that could clear a lot of this price action that you have back towards February 2nd. We'll see what happens there, right? Weekly chart has to the left also 1157. So we got to get through that 1157 if we're really going to have a next good, like let's say week and a half. We'll find out on Smith & Wesson. Good company. We'll find out. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Smith & Wesson, probably some of the top guns out there. All right. KRE. This is coming back, of course. This is for the regional banks, but I can't touch this. I cannot touch this team. This is catching a falling knife, and I don't do it, team. I don't play with falling knives. It's Friday, and I need me some paradise. I'm with you. I'm with you, Shannon. It's Friday, baby. We got to take it easy after the bell. Valero getting a nice move already. We're up about 1.39%. Really wanted to add on this one a little bit above 134. But like I told you guys, I'm looking for the oil takedown. I think we could very much be seeing it right now. Look at XOM. Nice little move here to close. Look at Chevron. Nice little move here to close. Oxy. Can it hang on to that 60? No, goes the 60s. Came back to the VWAP, rejected off that 60-20s. And that was while we're doing the show, right? I mean, this is 3 p.m. We've been talking about it, team. Been looking to see if we're going to see XLE break the daily levels, very important daily levels here. You guys can see this line here. I'm going to actually draw this red so that we'll have it as a line to look for. If we ever get back up through here, yes, we'll look to find out what happened to XLE. But if we keep holding this as resistance, we could finally be breaking this pattern, right? And I've talked about this often that I look for 4 topping patterns, right? 4 attempts. Well, this stock did it here, right? It went up here. Multiple times it touched through the resistance here. We went back to 92s. We came here for the 91s, trying to get back up there. Couldn't do it. And now have made that A, B, C. Started to really drop. Now it could really start breaking longer term trends. We look at the weekly. Look at this long trend line, team. If that trend line breaks and we get into like the 78s, I think you'll start to see some traders, especially rotationary traders, start moving away from energy. And I think the big reason why this could have happened, of course, I talked about it on my Twitter. Was it because of the Saudi Arabia and Iran deal? I don't know if you guys caught that today, but they did have a nice deal today. I think that could start making an interesting move in oil. All right. Well, we'll see if they talk about that next week. You know how a lot of times we talk about things here on Benzinga and then they talk about it later on some other medias. So be careful out there, team. As we're starting to see XLE drop, I'm sure you'll start talking about some traders looking at that oil trade. We'll find out how that goes. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look. Sark. The Sark is looking good. I think Sark is looking good, man. Look at the volume inflow today. 8.3 million shares on that Sark move higher. So it did give you a nice 43.50 pullback. That was a good level to look for because yesterday when we were looking at this as it was going towards 44, and I was like 43.50s, 43s. You can see in the pre-market and right out the gates, we got that opportunity. Went to a low of 43.31s. Now back up there to 45.50s. It looks strong. I'll tell you what, I'll be looking for pullbacks. That's for certain. If I can get the pullback, let's say towards 44.25s, take my shot there in the Sark. We'll find out what happens. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is being moved here. Valero's just dropping, man. Is the market just dropping like a tank? Oof. It's dropping like a tank. Look at that. 384.74 is, guys. We're starting to break through intraday lows here. Be careful out there, team. It looks like we're coming for the damage. Drip was one of the trades that earlier in the day I got stopped out back. I rode this first move, and then I got stopped out on this move. But, man, it gave that nice move towards the close here. And we'll find out how some of these trades turn out. Definitely, I would be careful with even the big boys. They're not looking good. Microsoft coming right back down. Tesla might come right back down towards the close. We'll find out if this does, but it doesn't look strong right now. It's starting to pull back, and the overall market is just getting wrecked. JPM, one that we were looking at. Would this sell off towards the close? We're right now about 10 minutes away. We're about to find out, right? You can see how it's already setting up for that move. And I'm not going to take it, so we can talk a little bit more about it. I'm just clearly going to be like this. I'm not going to take it, but I'm just kind of drawing it out for you, right? And so you guys can see here how these kind of patterns work, right? You can see how you're kind of rejecting that now. You can see how also what volume increases when you start to look like you're breaking down, right? Look how you're seeing that volume increase right here. Well, let's see if we actually get that takedown through that level, and a clear move like with a big candle towards 132 shows more conviction than just a small candle back towards, let's say, like 132.75. You want to see a nice conviction style candle. What I call conviction is that nice big like break through the levels, and then you could see the continuation. Intel is one that's actually having an up day on a day where the market's just getting hit. So that shows me value tech could come into play. So take a look at some of the value tech names, but I'm not sure what's going to be able to hold on in this market. PanW, one that's being able to hold on. So there you guys see one that's being able to hold on. What about CrowdStrike? CrowdStrike still pulling back, but not as weak as some of the stocks out there, right? So maybe cybersecurity, a stock that you can look at, especially since it's not doing bad on a strong, like on a day where it's really weak. This one on a strong day could come back roaring. So keep your eyes on some of these cybersecurity names. I have a feeling we could see those come up next week. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other ones. MaxN was a monster ripper in solar. They got a big push up there towards 2770s. This looks to me like it's just setting up for a short, but it's not an easy borrow here. We'll see what happens there on MaxN. Not something that I'm going to trade today. First Solar would be something that I'd maybe attack again to the short side, but I'm going to stick out of this one this time around. First Solar is definitely a tough one to trade. Was able to take some profits on it today. Could risk those profits, which wouldn't be too much, but I'm going to hold to the name. We'll see what else goes on. All right, let's go to a different area that I wanted to take a look at. Let's go to the defensive names, because I was thinking, well, maybe the grocery stores could come back. Nope. The grocery store is not coming back. SFM still hanging on there towards the 33s, so it's not the worst chart. You can see right here, we're kind of hanging on right here. This is where I kind of traded it. We took profits yesterday, but it was not really profits. It's kind of break-even trade on this one. We'll look to see if we can get back up there on Sprouts Farm, back to the upside. Will Kroger's hang on? Kroger's is hanging on here, not having a bullish day, but at least not completely breaking down. Want to take a look at like Costco. That is getting hit today. So it looks like these discount stores not being able to hold the trend. And we'll see if we get back to 450s there. Walmart, we started talking about how that's starting to look like it's breaking down. Is this going to actually start to break? Doesn't look too good right now, team. I can tell you right now, it's not having much upside action on the up moves. You can see here, yeah, you got a little bit of a bounce back there, but I feel like if we take out again around 36.30s or 36, we could see some downside continuation there in Walmart. So we'll find out what happens there. Target is one of those that I already see kind of getting hit. This looks like it could continue coming back down, even back towards the 140. All right, let's see what else is out there. Dennis Dick is going to get guru status after this call. If you watch pre-market prep, you would have been prepared when he went into it when nobody else on CNBC did. That's what pre-market prep's about, man. Come on. We gotcha. See what I did there? All right, we'll see what else is going on. Who would have thought SVB goes to bankruptcy before Triple BY? Yeah, that's a funny one. KR, we just talked about that. We'll see what happens there on Kroger. It doesn't look too bad there. ACI is one that I'm also keeping an eye on just to see what happens with the deal, but we'll find out what happens there. VLO went through the 132s, now bouncing a little bit here. So we'll see what happens if the SPY can actually get a little bounce towards the close here. And you can see we bounced right off those lows, right around where the intraday low was. So not the best turn there. We'll see what happens now. You got JPM coming right back up here towards this kind of 133.75s. I'm not going to go shorting into any more banks. I'm going to hang on to the Morgan Stanley, though. I have the tiniest piece left from 95.34, team. 95.34. We're all the way up here, team. 95.34. That's up here. We're going to hold on. We're going to see if this Morgan Stanley can come down. See if we can get it down there to maybe, who knows, maybe towards the 200-day, 86.63. The last shares are just shares that I'm just going to let run. We'll find out on those. BA spiking back up with the market getting a little bounce. That I'd expect that to kind of get the bounce there, right? If you wanted to take your shot, you got your levels to go off of here. You got around the 202 levels. Will it get back there to the 204.50s? Doesn't look too bad there in Boeing. Shout out to you, my friend. Let's take a look there. Tesla green on the day. DKS coming off the top. That one looks interesting. This looks interesting, team. I actually like this one. We talked about this one yesterday, and it already started coming down. Doesn't look too bad. I'm a little late to the game on this one. I have to chase here, and I hate chasing. Quantum. And you told me 2 minutes ago, so I'm going to give you at least the benefit of the doubt, right? I mean, 2 minutes ago, doesn't still look too bad, but I kind of like this DKS to the downside. Filling this gap back towards like 140, maybe even 138. We'll see what happens there. If I could get a bounce then this one, but it's already going. I feel like I'd have to play more of the day trade momentum, just like the momentum trade right now. And you guys know how that is. I'm not really more of that momentum trader, but it does look good to get through this 145.78 even towards the close here. I'm going to leave it alone. If I see a bounce towards 147, I'll take it out, but we'll find out there. All right, let's keep going. I missed Triple BY. It was nice while it lasted. I hear you, man. Can't blame you on that. KHC, the Kraft Heinz Company. Let's go to the hourly chart. Hourly is trying to reverse. So I think this is kind of more of a rotation in today. We need to see if we're going to have a day 2, day 3 type of move, right? Where you get 2 or 3 up days. So if we can just see a nice bar tomorrow go to like 38.75s, yeah, KHC kind of reversing right now. But until I see that, I don't think this is really a strong move on the day. All right, I'm sure the market will rally all next week because I've entered heavy swing puts. Oh, it happens, SRT8. No worries. One thing you always got to remember, right, is that the market likes to hurt where it can hurt the most. And so always remember, when we're late to the game, we have to be careful. Not saying that you're late to the game, but always just keep that in mind, right? The market likes to hurt where it can hurt the most. All right, let's keep going. What else is being talked about in the chat? 5 minutes of beers and cheers. Yeah, let's do that, man. Captain Kirk, you're about to make me go get a beer right now on stream. I already hear it. Oh, man, it's calling my name. You know what? Forget the beer. The bourbon's calling my name after a week like this. Woodford, I smell you already. All right, let's get to it. I got the double Woodford, too. Ooh. If you've never tried the double Woodford, ooh, check that out, team. All right, let's take a look. What else is being called out in the chat? 5 minutes here. Will At the Close show ever make a return? No. This starts swing trading, baby. We're here to stay. Start swing trading, baby. That's what we're here for. VLO, our call of the day. We'll find out what happens on that one. Got in this one today, right when the show was starting at, look at 3 p.m. right here. 3 p.m. Boom, boom. Not looking too bad. We'll find out on those oil names if they can go a little lower. All right, what else is making a move here? Let's take a look there towards let's actually go towards some of the leading stocks that were starting to get that up action. If FRC still continuing, no, they're starting to slow down a little bit. JPM is the one that I wouldn't go against here. It just looks strong. It looks like everyone's thinking that maybe JP Morgan buys SIVB Bank. I also heard rumors of maybe Morgan Stanley doing that. So just be careful there, team. I am seeing a lot of volume come into those names turn the close here. So a lot of people taking bets. Be careful out there. Getting wine tonight, says Preston. Bow, chicka, wow, wow. It's a wine kind of night. Earnings trade can ruin your year. Yes, Jeff. I'm with you on this one. Earnings trades can ruin your year. Yes, they can, man. Just be careful on that. One of my recent bad beats on an earnings, right? You guys know it. Full transparent. That's all I can be. Haven't had the buzz on Zynga channel since GME days. Well done. That's all we can do, man. We got to have some fun. That's what it's all about. All right, let's see what else is going on. Just buy some Tango. Wild Irish Rose. Not too bad. Brass Monkey. Easy said. I know the good stuff. Brass Monkey Bourbon. All right, not too bad. I see what you guys are looking at. DKS already. Oh, man, that one's interesting me. I'm not gonna lie. We'll see what happens in that DKS. Nike, how's that doing? Starting to bounce back a little bit here. You know what's one I was looking at? What about the Crocs? You know what? I should short the Crocs. Oh, we're closed. We're closed, team. That's going to do it for us in this week. I was looking at the Crocs right now. Where's Jay when you need him? Because this actually looks juicy, team. I'm going to look at this next week to see if we can break through the 110 area on Crocs. I'm going to set an alert there in the 110s. If that breaks 110, might go after those shoes with holes in them. I don't know about you guys. I'm not too big in the shoes and holes. That's going to do it. Ding, 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 ding. I see you guys out there. I hope you guys enjoyed this week. Stay tuned like always for more, always right here on Benzinga. I'm excited to take a look into what we get next week. Right now, still have 4 swing trades on MOS, MS, Valero, and win. We'll find out if we're winning on Monday. Stay tuned with everything we do. You're wearing Crocs right now? We'll shoot them off your feet. We'll find out. Have a great weekend. Pinkies on up. Hit the like button. And definitely be back for some more start swing trading action every day, 3 to 4 p.m. And I'll make sure that we have some great guests for next week. Stay tuned right here on Benzinga. Smash the like. Let's go. There's only one way. Dance it up. Bow, bow, bow.